Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from spirit, from you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Give something time because it's getting really, really good. It's cooking. It's cooking. Yeah. Some things take time to warm up, but this is going to be really, really good. And it's going to surpass your expectations. Something that you've been giving your energy to. It's something that's dear to you as well. There may have been like fluctuations with it. Okay? But ultimately, it's something that's dear to your heart, and it's worth the investment of time and energy. Give it time. Thank you, Spirit. A message from the ancestors. Okay. Academic, addiction, and wholesome. At the bottom, we have act of love, objectivity. There's something that you know about that like it's your expertise, and you may have gone to school for it, or you may have taken classes for it, or it may just be something that you always knew how to do. You know how like I know some people are just good with putting things together and they're tinkerers, you know, they can put things together, take them apart, put them together. Nobody really teaches them how to do that. It's just a talent that they have. So it could be something like that, or this could be something that you've actually studied for, okay? It is something that some people might not expect you to know. You could have experienced some discrimination because of this. Like, say if there aren't a lot of people of your gender within that field that do that particular thing, or wherever it is that you've done this thing, whether you've taken classes for it or you've actually been in the field doing it or creating it, there aren't a lot of people either of your culture, your ethnicity, your race, or your age group even, or your gender. Okay, so you could have experienced some discrimination, but you know what you're doing. But that could be a little... It's like people are surprised that you are able to do this. And that could show how shallow they are. I'm getting that. It really could. That could put a bad taste in your mouth, like, yet another person who doesn't think I can do this, but watch me do it. I'm hearing whistle while you work. Like, it's something that you do with such ease and grace, and it makes people mad because there are people who try to do what you do, and they've been doing it for years and have studied so long and hard and have certifications or degrees or something, if that applies. And you just go in there and you're like, you make it look so easy because it's a gift. It's something that you were born to do. Divine, please give me something on addiction, because it's like two opposing cards, like addiction and wholesome. Okay, I'm kind of getting it. All right, judgment on the fence. So there's something about this particular thing, whether it's a skill or a desire that you have to create a business or whatever, that sometimes could feel like an addiction because you're so driven to do it, and you do it, right? But there is a wholesome way to pace yourself, and like the opening message said, to give it time. It's like something that deserves a slow burn. Something like that. It doesn't have to 444 on the timer. Yeah, that's your protection. It's something here about not burning yourself out, because you might have some, or may have experienced at some points in your life some tendencies to overwork yourself, okay? Overworking tendencies. This does not necessarily have to come from a place of fear or because sometimes people overwork themselves or become workaholics because they want to bury themselves in a particular aspect of their life because they're avoiding something else. Or also sometimes it's because sometimes we don't realize that we deserve to rest, and we think that we have to prove ourselves and work so hard to show that we've got it. And it's like, you know, but it can also be where it's like really where you're super excited about it, and there's this part of the brain that just like goes, there's no time, there's no space, it's like you're just locked in, and before you realize it, you haven't eaten, maybe you haven't worked out in a couple days, and you're like, whoa. And there's a need to balance. So if you have experienced that situation where you felt like you've overworked yourself, it could be one or either of those reasons, or maybe several of them that may or may not resonate with you. Okay, take what resonates. But there's something very wholesome about this experience, about this gift that you have. And there is a wholesome path for you to take with it. Divine is encouraging you, and the ancestors, because this is an ancestral message, the ancestors are encouraging you to also, I'm getting that there is an ancestor that you have who was passionate about this very thing that you're passionate about, or something related to it. Even if it's something very modern, like they had a knack for that, however it appeared in their time. Like, let's say if you're really great with technology, well, they were interested in technology of their time, whatever that looked like in their time. So there is something within your lineage where there are blessings flowing to you, because this particular ancestor wants to see you succeed and surpass what they were able to accomplish within this area. Okay, so this is just a reminder from an ancestor or from the ancestral spirits to do what you do as an act of love, both for yourself, okay, loving yourself as you do this thing, this wonderful thing that you're able to do so well, and also as an act of love for this particular field, and for your ancestors, because they're very proud of you. And for whoever it is that you like to bless as a result of doing this thing, if it involves other people or if you share it with other people. So this is the Judgment card, the Hall of Two Truths. It's all about balance. I even see the scales of justice here. Okay. Yeah. Weighing the heart. You want your heart to be light as a feather. You want your heart to be light as a feather. There may be things that have come along for the ride on this journey of doing this talent, this gift, that have kind of burdened you a bit. But it's like a cleansing energy that's coming in to restore balance, because Divine wants you to enjoy what you do. They said you deserve it. What you love to do is supposed to be fun. Yeah. There's this energy of Bastet coming through to reset the wheel. You may have been going in a direction where it felt like burden and just responsibility and I really do see you. It's like this energy of burying yourself in this activity or this skill or whatever it is that you were doing. Also, I'm seeing things attached to it. Like, there's the purity of your gift, right? And then there's what other people expect you to do with this gift. And there's, you know, maybe fears attached to it of, am I good enough? Well, it already came through that a lot of people feel intimidated by your abilities. And so if that's the case for you, if that resonates, then I already know that people have said some ugly things like you don't know what you're doing, or you don't do it this way, you do it that way. I'm hearing you do it your way. Okay? Have it your way. Isn't that a jingle for fast food or something? Whatever you do is delicious. And it's very appealing. Just like Bastet here. You know, Bastet is very sexy. She's a very sensual deity. But here she's seen nurturing. In her nurturing mode. And so you're being encouraged to allow your talents and your gifts to nurture you. To not feel like you have to be perfect when you do it, because you already are in your own way. This is going to get the wheel turning in the right direction. Also, this brings fortune to you. It's funny how, you know, we can get into this hustle mode where we're like, do more, make more, sell more, But when it comes to something that you really love, a lot of times that hustle mentality just messes everything up. And it siphons all the fun out of it, which the fun is what makes it this Bastet energy, this creative, nurturing, sensual energy. With senses, there's something about enjoying or tapping into your senses when you create or when you work. So use aromatherapy, you can use, you know, play music, whatever music you like when you work, you know, just anything that lifts your vibe. Okay? Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go to the Earthcraft Oracle. What's coming through here, Divine, for this beautiful being? What do they need to know? Karmic debt. You have paid some sort of karmic debt, and it's like you might not trust that. You might feel like there is, I keep seeing you carry a burden that you don't have to carry anymore. Inner healer, sacrifice. Yeah, it's like something that you may have felt that you had to make a sacrifice with, when really Divine just wants you to enjoy it. You have the world in the palm of your hands, and you can create what you want to, and you're extremely abundant. You are naturally abundant. But there's something that you don't have to sacrifice that maybe you thought you did. And that was taking the fun out of this endeavor. It's like not feeling like you have to be so serious and so perfect and so meeting the expectations of others. Like whatever it is that you've heard people say about you, they were saying it out of envy and jealousy. Also, it can hurt when people say things, make judgments based on your gender, based on your ethnicity, based on your size, your body shape, whatever it was, for whatever reason it was that they judged you or misjudged you. It was uncalled for, but that speaks to their ignorance. I'm also getting that some of like what you've done here, like this karmic debt, some of the karmic debt that you have carried and that you have processed, it's really allowed people to become more enlightened. And you might look at people and be like, why are you such an ass? Like, why would you say something like that to me? But when people are in the process of awakening, we don't always see the fully awakened version of them, you know? And so I might see somebody who interacts with me in a very racist way, but maybe they're not as ignorant as they used to be. So it really doesn't do me any good to hate them. I can say what I need to say. I can set boundaries. I can, you know, or I can just live my truth, however I choose to handle it. However you choose to handle it is perfectly fine. But you don't have anything to prove to anyone. But in being yourself and doing what you do so beautifully, you have awakened people. Even if you still see them acting ignorant, it's like, it's still a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? You're helping them to awaken. But that's not a burden that you have to carry. It's like that was a part of your journey, realizing that there are people out there who will misjudge you and try to put you in a box and all of that. But at the end of the day, you get to be you no matter what, and you get to determine who you are. Okay? Yeah, but a lot of people have talked about you because they are intimidated by you. They're very envious of the ease with which you create and you do your thing. Look, we've got Angel and Hedonist. Divine really wants you to enjoy what you do. You see her right there? Just sitting back, enjoying. Also, there's something here about enjoying the fruits of your labor. When's the last time you took a vacation? And you know, vacations don't have to be expensive, okay? It's really nice if you like the beach and you're close to the beach, or even a lake, you know? But even taking a day trip, right? Just going somewhere that you don't normally go. Going to the park. I love that, you know? Just getting out and enjoying yourself. There's something here about allowing yourself to indulge a bit, okay? And whenever I encourage beings to do that, when it comes through the reading, that's what's needed, I always say do it within balance and always nurture your well-being, right? But there is something here about indulging and just letting yourself enjoy and feel good. Feel good. That's something that religion teaches us is bad. You shouldn't feel good. You should sacrifice. And you should be miserable all the time. But that's hell. That's hell. Oh, I love that they're saying you can be an angel. You're angelic even when you're enjoying yourself and indulging. I love that. Yeah. And have a good time. Do you, no matter what people have to say. Okay? Because who are they anyway? First of all, do they pay your bills? Okay? Saboteur. So that's the gossips. That's the people trying to come through and speak on what you do as if it's not fabulous, knowing damn well it's amazing. Yeah, there are a lot of judgy people around. People who are extremely judgmental and outspoken. Okay? Some of us, like, I'm an INFJ on the Myers-Briggs, and I do have a very judgmental aspect of my personality, but I'm aware of that. And I can make a judgment about someone and keep it to myself. I don't make my judgment of a person their business. You see what I'm saying? I don't go around telling people you're this and you're that. That's their business. That's their life. You know what I mean? But there are people who don't just simply judge or make judgments about you in order for them to decide whether or not it's for them, which that's when judgment is okay. When you judge to know if something is for you or not, it's aligned with you or not. But these are people that have been in your life who have made judgments about you and then spewed that rude, destructive criticism towards you. Be you no matter what, okay? Because when you are you, you have the Midas touch. When you hold back, that's when things start to become more difficult to manifest in your world, okay? But you are naturally abundant. Speaking of which, let's go to the Abundant Attraction deck and see what's coming through here, because this feels kind of like could be career related, creative endeavor, creativity related. Sacred union. Well, okay. Vibrational alignment. This could be something where people have judged your love life tell them to butt out. Or better yet, just do your thing, okay? So yeah, there could definitely be somebody who has been making judgments about your love life or whom you choose to be with. You know, it would only really be an issue if they're paying your bills, like from a very root chakra physical standpoint. I understand that sometimes in family systems, family environments, community environments, sometimes we tend to care what people think, but the question is, do we have to? You know, sometimes we're just programmed to care what people think about us, and we don't really have to, but we get caught up in that. So, also if there's something about your love life or that some people consider to be out of the box, okay? Outside of the box, outside of what some people consider to be the norm or the status quo, there is a certain sense of bravery that you just have to have. If you know that that's you, like let's say if you date outside of your race, or you date someone of your same gender, or someone within a different age group, but at least 18. Okay, another adult. You just have to be like, this is what I'm doing, and I don't care what you have to say about it. I don't care what you think about it. I don't care about your opinion. You know? Yeah. So there's something about that, like allowing yourself to enjoy, because a sacred union is sacred. It's positive, so that's something that's in your zone. You're aligned either to experience that now or to attract that. So this could be either where you are already in a union that is sacred, and divine is like, let down those walls between you and that person, because, and maybe put some walls up to protect it from the gossip, from the naysayers, from the people who don't know what they're talking about, who really low-key wish they had your life, but they're too afraid and insecure to go out and make things happen for themselves. So they'd rather sit around, be lazy, and hate on you, okay? Or it could be that the way that you're living now, where you are loving yourself and allowing yourself to create more freely, you are in alignment with the manifestation of this sacred union. Okay, so either one. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Abundant attraction. Look. Oh my goodness. You are just so abundant. Yes. And it's ever increasing. Your abundance is always increasing. You see these pyramids? It's one, and then another one, and then they have levels going up, 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 up. Yeah. Your abundance never ends. There's something about not limiting the possibilities of your prosperity and the potential that you have to create. I like this question. It says, what will you choose to create? There could be something here about 2323 on the timer, about redundancy, or like doing the same thing over and over again. You can switch it up. You know, like I have Mars and Gemini, so I love to, like, my passion is all over the place. Boo, boo, boo. So I like to switch things up, and sometimes I have to do that. There might be something about just switching up your creative routine. Maybe doing something unexpected, and not attaching any expectations for sales or whatever. Like, just letting it be. Okay? Just letting it be. Also, something's coming through about, like, pleasing the masses. If there's something that you have been doing because you want to please everybody else. I've heard a lot of creators talk about this, right? Well, several. And that is something that comes up when you are creating content, or when you are setting up a business, or doing anything creatively. It's like, do I do it? How much do I do to please other people and for analytics and success versus what I just naturally want to do? And there has to be a balance, you know? Ideally, there's a balance. Sometimes when you do things for the analytics and whatnot, it can actually increase your level of discipline. And, you know, it makes it so that you realize that you do enjoy that routine and creating things that other people like and love and are interested in. But you don't want it to get boring, and you don't want it to start feeling like I'm just doing this for numbers. If it feels like that, switch it up. Insert passion into the wheel. You know what I mean? It's like making a creative smoothie. What are you putting in there? Are you putting passion? Are you putting the formula that's needed to sell the smoothie? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you putting in there? You can switch it up. You know, if you usually do banana and strawberry, throw a little mango in there. Make it interesting. Okay? I'm hearing the spice of life. Also, that's something that perhaps you've held back on, is like switching things up because of a saboteur. There's somebody who really wants you to be in like on a wheel but going the wrong way. So Divine, what is please give us some confirmation as to what the right direction is. Okay, they said Afro Goddess Oracle. What's the right direction for this beautiful being as far as their creative process? This wheel. Okay, I'm already seeing the star and the bear. Now, you know the bear, well, obviously the star, you shining. Also, I'm thinking of the star card in the tarot. It's very unique. The song by Bob Marley, Soul Rebel is coming through. Okay, you might want to listen to that. It might inspire you. But it's like, be rebellious creatively. Like, do what nobody else is doing if it's what you want to do. Yeah, some people do things just to be shocking, like shock value. I'm not really down with that, you know, but hey, I'm not gonna judge. But this isn't about shock value. This is about doing what just feels good to you. But other people might be like shocked, but it's okay. You're not doing it to shock them. You're doing it to be you. But the bear can represent anger, but I'm getting passion from this. If there's some anger that you feel regarding your path creatively, where you've been discriminated against, you've experienced disrespect, destructive criticism, you can alchemize that and create with that energy. You know, because I'm sure there are other people in your field who have experienced that same thing. And, you know, it's like I saw this, it just popped up on my feed. It was a short, and it was a lady outside of a store. It may have been, I don't know what kind of store it was, but she was in New York. And New York might be relevant. But she was painting, she's an artist. And she was painting the door. It was for 4th of July. And she was like, oh my gosh, she was so talented. It was so cool what she was painting. And the title of the short was, New Yorkers Are So Rude. You know, she was being sarcastic because she just left her camera there as she was painting, like over a matter of hours. And she got clips of the people just saying, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful, or how are you doing? And you could tell it was genuine because like she had the camera tucked away and you could just hear the people's voices. And it sounded so natural. I could tell that it was legit. It didn't sound rehearsed at all. But it was her way of speaking up for her community and representing her community, because she was a proud New Yorker, which a lot of New Yorkers are proud, you know. And it was just really cool to see that. And so she is an artist, but she was using her art to also make a statement about her community. And so you can do things like that, you know, switch it up, create teachable moments, share your experiences with people, your frustrations, and yeah, use it to inspire people. Let them know how you feel about something. So this brings abundance with the fish. And also, you're going to be super motivated to do this because it's showing up as what's on your path. Okay? You know what you're doing because this is the second card that came through for academics or books or learning. So there could be additional learning that you want to do, but Divine is already saying that you know what you're doing. This reiterates the fact that a lot of people spend a long time studying what you do and never are able to accomplish half of what you've already done. Also, you're getting goddess energy here and the bouquet. Okay, so there are going to be opportunities for you to really get your flowers here. That's something that I feel may have been missing from this journey, where you've gotten a lot of criticism, but have you gotten your flowers? And so that's something that you're going to experience more and more as you do what feels right to you, as you just express your passion and do what is in your soul to do. Okay? Yeah, and see, cracking the whip all the time, feeling like you have to do this, have to do that, that clouds the creative process. So you want to keep that clear. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I really love that short. It was so cool. I was like, that's so creative. And it amazes me to see how these people combine different things. Like that took, first of all, her art ability, but then also it's like she sat around, I guess, and just was like, I'm tired of people saying that New Yorkers are so rude. Let me show them that they're not. So I really appreciate that. I think that was cool. I've met nice people from New York, very nice people. So I agree with her. I think that that was a very good point to make. Here we go. Have compassion for yourself and your creative process. All right, because discipline is one thing. 3223, it's just about like seeing things from a different perspective. You're extremely disciplined. You're extremely talented, gifted, extremely knowledgeable. But you want to enjoy what you do as well. That is so important. Okay, so have compassion for yourself in your creative process. This is freedom. It's like releasing the chains. Yeah, you've paid your karmic debt, okay? And you've done it in many ways. And I keep getting that one way in which you have paid your karmic debt is that there were certain ways in which you've suffered, but by standing strong and choosing to love yourself, you taught people a lesson. I'm also getting that somebody may have spoken against you and said some sort of insult, and you didn't lose yourself in that energy. You just chose to have integrity, and you may have addressed it, or you may have just continued on about your business, but however you handled it, you had integrity, and that showed whoever it was that addressed you in that rude way that you in fact are not what they called you or labeled you. Okay? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I love this because this feels like a career or creative endeavor reading. Prosperity. That's your path. And this path is all about your transformation with these butterflies, and that is what brings your prosperity. Don't be afraid to transform. You can switch up what you do. You don't have to do the same thing all the time. And also, it doesn't matter what other people expect from you. I mean, to some degree, you might want to satisfy people that you create for, and that's fine. I understand that. But also be true to you. And if you don't want to reinvent the way that you create, you don't have to. Just incorporate more things that feel more true to you and give yourself the freedom to do what you love. the way you love to do it. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages. I am so grateful that you allow them to flow through me, and thank you, beautiful being, for taking the time to tune in. I'm so grateful. And I'm also thankful for your likes, your kind comments, your shares, your subscribes, your hypes, and your donations. Every bit of love that you send to In Her Dreams, to this channel, I am so truly grateful for. I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy. And so many blessings. Take care.